come together, hand in hand. The miracle shines across the land. Every heart, every voice, every choice, we are the miracle of the season.
Hey, everybody. Go figure, right? My name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. I want to welcome you to a miracle of the season. This is year 2 of our effort to make everyone understand again that we are all one people. Okay? We're all different. And this is a good thing. It's important that we remember this is a good thing. We don't need to be the same. We don't need people to all be Christians or people to all be Muslim or all be anything. We need our differences. We rely on our differences. We thrive on our differences. And we need to make sure that we respect each other. We are going to be talking about respect. We're going to be talking about educating when it comes to, well, how did this all begin? What is the holiday season? How did this start? Where did it start? When did it start? What are the other celebrations that are involved? This to me is very important. And this is kind of the reason why when this was started, it was important that it was non-exclusive, that it was all inclusive, that everyone could come on here and talk about who they are, what they celebrate, why they celebrate it, what does it mean to them. I absolutely never wanted anything to do with one culture or one holiday. I also don't sit there and I don't worry about it if somebody says, well, it's not Happy Holidays, it's Merry Christmas. If that's the way that you live your life, that's the way you live your life. Okay? I don't think it's necessary to say Happy Holidays. I do. I also say Merry Christmas. Guess what? If I see somebody shopping in the Christmas aisle, I'm going to say Merry Christmas to them. Chances are they celebrate Christmas. I don't understand what the big deal is. Admittedly, I am not a religious person. Absolutely not a religious person. So I also understand why people get angry at me for saying I don't understand. I do understand a lot of the history of why Christmas is where it is, why the Christians first put Christmas where it is. And it was in order to not trying to upset anybody, but it was trying to supplant pagan holidays. Okay. I also don't understand how winter solstice is a pagan holiday. I don't. It's not. It's a season. It's not a holiday. It's a season. Okay. a lot of things were around before Christmas, and we're going to talk about some of them. I also want to ask for your attention and your help. If I miss something that is celebrated by you and your culture, please let me know about it. I am not leaving anything out intentionally. This is a project that is taking quite a while to put together. And unfortunately, there are going to be some celebrations that I am not going to find. Or I'm going to gloss over, not on purpose, by all means, not on purpose. I absolutely do not mean to miss anything. We've got some people who turned in videos, and I want to thank them all, and we will be thanking them when it comes time to end this in 37 hours. 36 hours and 53 minutes-ish. We will be thanking everyone. The 37 hours is very simple. The second this started, it turned Christmas Day somewhere on this globe. The second this whole thing ends, it will no longer be Christmas Day on this globe. It will be December 26th somewhere, or everywhere at least. Christmas Day will be over. Okay. My big old tongue is getting in the way of the things that I want to say. So that is what the 37 hours is. We are trying to educate, we're trying to entertain, and we're trying to teach and explore. We want this to grow. This is year 2. We will be reliving some of the stuff from last year. We will be adding some new stuff this year. I will be doing a rundown of a good majority of the seasons. Due to regulations of social media, this will be bouncing from channel to channel on Facebook, and only certain portions will be on Instagram. But you can always find it on YouTube at the Pack channel on YouTube. Okay, so we will be there. I know that for sure. Again, I do ask for your participation, and I do ask that you please let me know if we have forgotten anything. Because if we did, it was not on purpose. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start out with an interview I did with Mr. Claus late last week, and talking about how this all came along. Okay, and please keep in mind this was recorded last week, so there is a plea for you to get involved. And you know what? You can still get involved because you can still leave messages. You can still take and continue this by, writing in the comments, sharing with somebody and saying, hey, please turn this on. I wrote a comment for you. Next year, I'll create a video and share a video for you. Do you know somebody who has suffered a loss this year and is really having a hard time trying to figure out, maybe it's yourself, and you're having a difficult time trying to navigate those very, very difficult waters between celebrating with friends and, you know, not wanting to disrupt others? Well, we are playing a program, a wonderful program that was put together by a dear friend of mine, Maria Dolorez, and it is navigating the holidays after loss. So she has got guests that come on and they talk about everything from, a loss due to suicide, a loss due to just natural death. Her son, Maria's son, died 15 years ago of cancer, of an illness. Loss is something that makes holidays very, very difficult. I did talk just recently about, the first holiday after my divorce and how difficult that was. And, not having, at the time, I only had the one son, and, having everything that Christmas meant to me not there was so difficult. It was just excruciating. And going to celebrate at, my brother's house, knowing that my now ex-wife and was there, I felt like an outsider. I truly did. It was horrifying. And I just didn't want to be joyful. I honestly, looking back at it, I think I was just more happy in being miserable, and I was upset that, well, why the hell aren't there any bars open so I could just go and drink? Now, come to find out, there were a couple open that I could have went to, but I didn't know at that point in time. So, but if I would have had something like this wonderful program put together by Maria, maybe I could have dealt with it a little bit better. Well, saying that, I could have dealt with it a hell of a lot better regardless. But I was young and I didn't know what to do. I was inexperienced, honestly. So, but there are, it's approximately 7 hours worth of videos that we will be spreading out throughout this 37 hours. Okay. This is not going to be, this is not going to be like 7 hours of this one program that's all smushed together. No, we're going to put together other things in there. And this will loop more than once. Unfortunately, we do not have the 37 hours of new materials. So this will loop at least 3 times throughout this 37 hours. I believe that we might be able to stretch it into 10 hours, what we've got, so it'll loop 3 times. So it'll give you plenty of time to watch no matter where you're at. We are still adding things to it. I am, of course, recording this a couple days early. It is currently the 22nd. So, and I am just now starting to record this. So things could surprise me, and who knows, maybe in the next 24 hours, I get 30 hours worth of recordings and we don't have to loop things. And if that happens, well, great. But you know what? Next year, let's just make sure you get involved with us. And next year, let's just make sure we have 37 fresh hours. That way we never have to loop. But we're going to start this out first with Santa. My interview with Santa. And then we're going to go into an example of, then you'll see a momentary break and you'll have to look down in your social media because it's going to start a new show. Okay. After that show, just slip down to the new show, and you'll see an example of Santa's stories. And this is a story that he created for my grandchildren. And there are this was last year, and you could definitely tell I was struggling to put this together because you can see a couple things pop on, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Thankfully, I've gotten a little bit better, so hopefully the rest of the show will show up a little bit better. But anything that was recorded last year, I claim to, new at this stuff, new at this game. So don't blame me. Put up with me, please. So, but right now, when Santa walks in, hope awakens. Is this episode? This again was recorded last week, but this will tell you why Santa and I have created the miracle of the season.
Hope is rising, love is near. We come together, hand in hand. The miracle shines across the land. Every heart, every voice, every choice. We are the miracle of the season.
It is not very often that a schlub like me can say I am friends with one of the most popular people in history. But I am. I am good friends with this gentleman, Mr. Santa Claus. Santa, how you doing?
Hey, fabulous is the word of the day, folks. Fabulous. I mean, the weather, the sunshine. This weekend I had so many babies in my arms. It was absolutely amazing. And my highlight is a 92-year-old young lady. I'm too old to sit on Santa's knee. Since when is there an age limit? I mean, even Zach would follow that criteria. And within like 2 minutes, I had her sitting on my knee, giggling and laughing and telling me her truck driving stories.
That's great, Santa, except for I would never sit on your lap. I'm sorry, brother, but you wouldn't be able to complete your route. You would be in traction if I were to sit on your lap. So we often say this, that I've told Santa that I would have to be one of his elves, except for the elves cannot be fatter than Santa Claus. So, it's just, it's an unwritten rule. Folks, I've got Santa Papa John here with us. Are You Santa Approved? And we are here because Santa and I are trying to build something. This is our second year doing it. It's called Miracle of the Season. And if you scan the QR code right above my shoulder, you can find out more about what Miracle of the Season is. Simply put, and John, I want to get your opinion on this as well. But simply put, we want to see people come together again. We want to see people, regardless of your religion, regardless of your race, regardless of your geographic location, regardless of, who you are, your political affiliation, for God's sakes, no matter who you are, we want people to remember on this on the day of days that we need each other. We need each other to survive. We are not, as much as a lot of us like to say, you know what, I'm a loner, no, you're not. You can't do it alone. We need to be with each other, and most assuredly, we need to support each other. John?
You even live in Colorado, and I won't hold that against you, man. I mean, it's hey, we're competing with you in weather today. It's like 47 degrees in Minnesota. But folks, we need your help. This is, like Zach said, we are on year number 2. We're building something here that is going to be a lot of fun, giggles, laughter, but positive influence for people. Not only military, not only veterans, not only seniors, not only firefighter, police, anybody that works Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, ho, 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 that have to be away from their family. Let's create some stories. Let's create some pictures. Let's create some, you know, I want to share a story with you about my Uncle Bob because he works Christmas Day every year and I love him and I miss him. And it's as simple as that, folks. You can contribute to this amazing, what's the word I want to use? Collaboration of normal people, and I'll say that very loosely, normal people contributing to a greater reason to share why we celebrate the season.
You know, John, I loved your example there, okay? Because that really is, it's seriously as simple as that. My son, and we talk about this, and I'm going to be talking about this on Facebook Live tomorrow. I've been putting out live videos in the morning, and my son is in Japan, okay? My oldest boy. I still love the fact that I get to see my youngest son. He's going to be here. I absolutely love him. Plus, he's just got engaged, and I can announce that now because he put it out on Facebook. So he's bringing my new daughter, who's been my daughter for a while anyway. He doesn't know that, but I married them before they married him, and before
And
he
there's
married them.
nothing wrong with that.
So,
But more importantly, he's
yeah.
creating the memories that your family is going to be able to share for many, many years.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, but I'm going to sit there and I'm going to, create something for my son in Japan. And my son in Japan and we have a great relationship, but it's kind of a needling you relationship. So what I'm going to do is and he teaches children. Okay, he teaches kindergarten children. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a story like my buddy John, Papa John, who's going to tell you about that here in a minute. But I'm going to create a story about young Jeffrey for his students. And I am going to embarrass him because it is fun. But it is something that I can do for my son who, you know what? I'm going to feel that pain that he's not here. But I'm also going to celebrate the fact that he is someone, and this is what we can do. We can, there's nothing like them being right beside you, but they can't always be there. But we can do something in order to celebrate that, you know what, they're still in your heart. So that is one of the things that I'm doing. Santa, you create stories for people. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I do, Zach, and I create a custom family story where where I will say your children's name in the story that I'm actually reading. And I got to say this because everybody loves this little giggle part. Mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, play it again because Santa said my name. I've told that to so many people, and so many people have come back to me and said, I remember this as a childhood. I remember that as a childhood. And I remember Santa saying my name in some sort, some form, some letter that it makes it special so that the children will remember that people that Santa talked about them, specifically them. And folks, it doesn't take a Santa to say those kind of stories about your children, about your brother, about your sister, aunt, uncle. Maybe they're serving overseas in the military. Thank you for your service. And you want to send a special message. This is how we do it. We're going to put all your stories together, all our stories together, and we're going to create, now, figure this one out, 37-hour memorial celebration of stories, memories, and future memories. And why is it 37 hours, Zach? Well, you explain to him, because I get a little confused because I'm not doing the math the best that I can.
Yeah, well, that's because you're working those 37 hours, and 37 hours equates to. And first off, you can hear one of John's stories by going to his page on our website, communitypayitforward.us, and go to just type in Santa in the search bar. His page is going to pop up. It's going to tell you how your business can become Santa approved. And when that happens, you get to donate to somebody that you care about. So just keep that in mind. But if you play this video, it's a video for my seven grandkids that Papa John created last year. So it is a fantastic story. It's a lot of fun, and I know my grandkids love it. They loved it last year. They already love it again this year. But the 37 hours equates to this, folks. It turns December 25th at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Christmas Eve on Christmas Islands. Okay, so when it's still 6 o'clock here in the U.S., it turns Christmas Day on Christmas Islands. Okay, and we're gonna start playing the recordings right then, because it is Christmas somewhere. And we're going to continue to play these recordings until 6 a.m. In the East, 4 a.m. or no, I'm sorry, 4 a.m. in the East. I'm sorry, and that is when it becomes midnight in Honolulu, Hawaii. So while it is Christmas Day, somewhere in our vast world, we're going to be spreading good. We're going to be spreading news. We're going to be spreading positivity. We're going to be spreading stories that help people like my son and his new bride. This gives them a chance to hear how other people celebrate, what other people are doing to create tradition, to live tradition, how people who don't celebrate Christmas, what they do this time of year. Maybe I'm a little interested in this. Okay, I understand you don't celebrate Christmas. What do you celebrate? Let me hear more about this. And why? Because it shows that we're working together. It shows that we have compassion and we have curiosity towards other people. And I think that is so important because Papa, I don't know about you, but if there were other people like me that were just like me, I don't need to like them. I know me. I know everything about me. I'm pretty good at that. I've studied me. I don't need anybody else like me.
So confused.
Yeah. So I want people to be different. I want people, I want to learn from other people. I want to, experience what other people deal with and what people go through. And I want to experience other faiths and other traditions. And it's fun for me to figure that out, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whether you're, you celebrate winter solstice, which is, by the way, the oldest thing that we celebrate when it comes this time of year. It's been around since before people. So.
Older than dirt?
Well, probably. It's at least about the same age.
As you can see, we banter each other, we giggle about this, and we have fun. That's what it's all about. And Zach is so right. I get kids talking to me. Well, I don't celebrate Christmas because of XYZ reason. I don't do this because of XYZ. Who cares?
Yep.
We all have a reason to share memories. We all have a reason to share gratitude and positive messages to other people around the world, across the street, across town. You have an aunt, uncle serving in the military. Maybe they're at a base located in the U.S., and we all know the bases all around the world are classified as U.S. But you know what? You want to send a special message to them, and you want to do it so that other people can see it. Then bring it to us. Let us do it. We'll be proud to share it with anybody in the world, and we want this to grow and create a wonderful legacy that Zach and his wonderful foundation has come up with. And he contacted me and said, "Hey, I got a wonderful idea, but I can't do it on my own." I said, "Absolutely." There was, about a millisecond of hesitation to the answer, but you know what? We both have come up with the idea. We both have seen the results of people getting stressed out, of worried, of not knowing, of how do we answer this question. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be able to answer all the questions. Oh, that's up to the Almighty upstairs, And but you know what? We can share some giggles, we can share some smiles, we can share some laughter, and we do a lot of laughter together, because we all know laughter is the best form of medication out there. And whether you're medicated on laughter of one sort or the other, it don't matter, because we all need to share more smiles with each other. We need to share more laughter with one another. And that's why we're asking for your help, folks. It's not very stressful. And actually, I was talking to Mr. Kurt yesterday, and Emily's going to open up their website, and we'll get confirmation on this in the next couple days. But if you don't have a way to create a video, you're not sure how to, they will help you out. I can help you out. Zach can help you out. There's no excuses anymore to saying, I don't know how. All it takes is a phone call, an email, a Facebook message, any way that you knock on our door and say, will you help me? Of course, we would be more than happy. Yep, there it is right there. Click on that QR code, folks. That'll give you some information. That'll give you a location on where to start and asking questions if you have questions. And we all have questions. Why is the sky purple at night? Well, Zach likes to partake in, no, I would say that, because that'll get me into trouble. But folks, we need your help. We want we need your input, because Zach can only talk so long before he gets tongue-tied. I can only read so many stories before you guys say, hey, he's doing the same old story, 14 times. We want something different, and we want your input so that this is going to be the best ever, and we got to improve what we did last year. Last year was a lot of fun. Last year was a lot of great positive memories. But we can make this year's better.
Yeah, absolutely. And Santa, I think one of the other things that we want to make sure that we do, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages, you know what? We want to make this yours. This is not the Santa and Zach show. We have very little to, this isn't us. This is everybody. We want everybody to be involved in this. If you can be positive, if you can be uplifting, if you can share part of yourself, if you can tell people, you know what, I'm kind of an old grumpy cuss on, 360 days a year, but damn it, these next 4 days, I'm going to be happy-go-lucky and a nice guy. Awesome. Let's get that recorded. Let's make sure that other people see it, because, those people who know you as that grumpy cuss for those 360 days, they can see that, you do have a good side. So,
remember Kevin in Home Alone, and he wanted to meet the ugly old cuss from next door, but he was told so many ugly stories that the old man next door was mean and beat his children and he didn't do this and he wasn't like wasn't very nice at all to children. Well, it took a conversation to change that. And that's what we're doing here, folks. We're creating conversation.
Yep.
We can create new positive memories for your family, for your family that's working, that's volunteering, that's serving, whatever the case may
Yep.
be. Let's create. And you know what? The question of the day, Zach, do they have to do something that's 5 minutes long?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can come on here and you can say, hey, this is, I'll do an example. This is Zach from Community Pay It Forward, and I want to wish everyone out there a very, very happy holiday season. I also want to give a special thanks to all of our heroes, both country and community, and all of those who work hard every day to make sure we can live the best life we can live. That's it. If that's all you want to do, that's it. There's still positivity, there's still support there, and that is so important for so many people. There are so many people who are out there right now. And Papa, one of the other reasons why we're doing this is because there are people who just feel forgotten. And if we're able to tell people, if we're able to connect Susan to her nephew who's not being able to come and visit the family. We've done something together. You mentioned, maybe reading a story to your child. We'll make you a deal. You know what? You read that story to that child, we'll put it on air because there are millions of children all over the world that may not be able to ever hear that story unless it's coming out of your mouth. But what we can do is we can take and we can cut that story out for you and we can email you that story and your child can have that forever. They can have that story forever. And we will do that because it's something that is hopefully going to change everything and just bring humanity together for a little bit. We're, as much as we'd like to say we're out here to change the world, well, we are. But we're going to start with one day, one cycle of this moon, one day. And we're going to do this and we're going to do it together. But for us to be able to do it, we need your help.
And absolutely, folks, remember, there's no time limits to your videos. There's no excuses for you not to submit a video. We want to take your ideas and put them as part of the big puzzle. Now, we can't build this puzzle if we've only got 2 sets of pieces or 6 sets of pieces. We need your contributions to make this a very let's throw the big name in here. Remember the Jerry Lewis telethon?
Yeah.
He relied on actors, comedians, dancers, jugglers to make that a success, but it was all the contributing parts that made it a success. It wasn't because he was an incredible entertainer and he was an incredible MC. It was because he was able to put the pieces of the puzzle together in the right places. Now, we're going to take all the different pieces of the puzzle, but you got to throw the pieces of puzzles at us. So, folks, we're going to reach out and we're going to stretch this and we're going to do this video every single day for the next 8 days. And you're going to see it all over my video feed. And I've got well over 100,000 followers on 11 different platforms. And Zach's got many multiples on his platform. And you're going to see this and you're going to hear us and you're going to be asking and you're going to go, how can I help? QR code over here, this side over here, that QR code over there is going to give you some answers, give you some
ideas.
There you go. Thanks, Zach. on how to get a hold of us and how you can contribute.
Yeah. And, John, you also brought up another point that one of the things that we're asking people is if you need our help to record for you, record you for you. What we're asking for is if you can make a $10 donation, that way we can put books into the hospitals here in Northern Colorado. That's another thing that we're wanting to ask. If you want to make a difference closer to home, take and go out and buy a couple brand new books. Take and sign from your family on the inside cover and take them and drop them off at your local hospitals. The volunteers are going to give those books to the kids as they come into the hospital. Again, this is something that may not seem like much to you, but think back. When you were in the hospital, even as an adult, and you're sitting there and you're watching an episode of Law and Order for the 15,000th time, and you're like going, good God, what I would do for something different to do.
It was 15,001.
Yeah. So, this is something that those kids who are already scared, who are already uncomfortable, who are already going through, possibly the worst time in their life, they're going to see something. They're going to open that cover and they're always going to remember that there was somebody in their community who cared enough to get them something when they were going through a very tough time. Look, these are the kind of things that we're trying to get going here. We're not trying to get them going, all right? We've already dropped off 2 boxes of books to 2 hospitals here in Northern Colorado. These aren't things we're trying to get started. These are things that we're starting. And it's just so much easier if we have you to come along with us. We need you. We need you. And more importantly, we want you to join with us. We want you to be along on this ride. There's even a place on this form where you can give us other suggestions. Hey, this is a community project. This isn't for John and I to sit here and get rich on. We're not asking you, I'm asking for a $10 donation if we record. If you want to make a donation, perfect. It's going to go to helping kids. That's it. This is what we're doing to try to make this and help your story get to the people who need to hear you the most. And these are people who may not even know that they need to hear you. So it is amazing how sometimes you overhear somebody say something and you're like going, oh my God, that's what I've been looking for. We can't have that oh my God moment if we all sit on our tongues, if we're all,
taking that to the next step, folks. When you see this video over the next 8 days, share it to your family and friends, share it to your contacts, because this is not for Zach and I. This is for you guys. This is for the people that can't be at home on Christmas. And we want to bring some happiness. We want to bring some smiles. We want some gratitude that we made a difference, but we need your help to make that difference a reality. So when you see this video and you're watching this video, please share it out. Share it with all your contacts. You never know when Aunt May or Uncle Billy or for your friend Steven goes, hey, I've got a friend that I haven't spoke to in a while that's in the military, or I know he's working. What an awesome way to get a video out to him. Maybe they want to do it anonymously. We can do that too. If you want to just record a video without the video part and have you just speaking.
Yeah.
not going to say anything that, oh, we're not going to allow that because it doesn't meet our criteria. Everything meets our criteria as long as it goes to a positive message to someone that is out there.
That's right. You know what? These things, they were created, I think, at one point in time to make phone calls. I think that's the original reason for these. But now, of course,
Now
they're
you're
all,
making me think. Ow,
yeah.
ow, 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 ow.
But I mean, now what you hear about is like the camera usage and stuff like that. You can record amazing things from this. Hey, you know what? For all of you employers out there, imagine this. You get all of your employees together and you say, hey, from our company to everyone out there, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. You know, happy Il-Eid Fitr. Whatever. As long as it's positive, we need it. We want it. And we'll share it. You know? And then guess what? All of a sudden, people are seeing your company there. I want to talk about cheap advertising. You know, but I mean,
here's a challenge. I just thought of this, Zach. Here's a challenge for everyone that contributes a video by the 23rd to this conglomeration of videos that we're going to put together. Zach's going to pick a name out of all those people that contribute a video, and I will donate one of my custom stories for their family.
Thank you, Papa.
Now, but I don't want Zach and I to win the video. I want you to win the video. So if you contribute a message of hope, of happiness to someone in the world, and you get it on our wonderful, what's the word I'm looking for, Zach?
Program.
Program. That's the simple way. I will pick a name and I will donate one of my stories. I charge $100 for these stories, and I'm creating wonderful memories of mommy, daddy, play it again, Santa.
Grandpa.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you want to get involved and you want to win a custom story from Santa Papa John, then you need to contribute a story. You need to contribute a video, even a picture with you recording a voice over that picture. That will still qualify.
Absolutely.
But we need your help to make this bigger and better.
Absolutely. And one other thing, and we're going to be bringing this to an end because we know that short and sweet is better when it comes to this. But, look, here's some other ideas, okay? If you make the world's best chocolate chip cookie, you got a couple chocolate chip cookie enthusiasts right here, all right? We'll just go at that. There's a couple of us. So let's see how you make your chocolate chip cookie and record that. And we'll put it on this. Do you make your own Christmas ornaments or home decor for Hanukkah? Do you do this? Do you decorate your home in a certain way for the winter solstice or Chinese New Year? What do you got? Show us. And we'll put it up there. Share it with us. And we'll share it with the world. And people will be like, I saw that idea and that was really cool. And I think we could do that. We could bring the whole family together to do this. Papa, do you remember back in the day how, and of course, when I say this, we were a little bit younger. Which means that, there wasn't, that popcorn was a brand new invention. But as a family, people used to sit around and with a needle and thread and putting popcorn on this string and then wrapping it around the tree, But we did it as a family. We did that as a family.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
These are the kind of things, folks, that we really want to bring back. really want you to think about, your neighbors next door. Hey, you know what? The family and I were sitting together. We entered this, wacky little idea to bring the world together. And so we had to make some chocolate chip cookies. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Shut In Neighbor, here's a plate of cookies. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh,
Imagine
importantly,
good you can do.
have you met your neighbors yet?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Zach, but boy, I'm really starting to see that lately. It's like you move into a new neighborhood or the house is for sale. Who's your new neighbors? They don't even get out of the house and see you cutting the grass and bring over a glass of water and say, hey, I'm Bob and Sue. We're your new neighbors. I don't know what's going on, but we need to change this mode of. But folks, it happens with you. We need your help. We need your participation to make this the biggest and the best program that we're going to put together for 37 hours, folks. 37 hours is a long time to have Zach talking about, the snowball rolling down the hill and running over the car.
Yeah, yeah.
It's rather boring.
Or me going sledding and rolling underneath the car when I was a kid. True story there, too. Papa Johnny, it was kind of funny because you bring that up. And actually, we just got new neighbors here. And I met them. And it was right before Halloween that they moved in. And I gave they've got a little boy. And I gave him a pumpkin out of our garden, because it's right before Halloween. So I gave him a pumpkin that they could take and create jack-o'-lantern for, because I knew they had enough stuff to go. When my wife and I put up our Christmas lights, I had a strand of lights up on my roof that blew out. And this little boy started crying. And the mom or the dad came over to me and he goes, oh, my son was so upset that you took those lights down. And I said, I didn't take any lights down. What? And he goes, yeah, your lights up on your roof weren't working. And so I found out that my lights weren't working because this kid was upset that I took down my lights. I was able to fix it. But yeah, this little boy who doesn't know how to talk yet, but he's able to take and open his window and look out at the beautiful lights that we put up, that my wife and I put up. It's community.
Absolutely.
And what is community? In my mind, you are community, no matter where you're at. We're all in this life. We're all in this funky little rock ball, all of us.
And with technology like this, it's eliminated boundaries, it's eliminated miles, and it's eliminated excuses.
Good point. So, Papa, how do people get a hold of you, my brother man?
SantaPapaJohn.com, Santa Papa John on all the social media. You can find me. I'm pretty easy to track down. Send me an email, send me a message, pick up the phone, call me, or, do the same to Zach. And how do they find you, Zach?
You know what? The best way to find me is scan the QR code right above my shoulder right here. You get a hold of me. And if you're having troubles locating Santa Papa John, I don't know how, but if you are struggling, you know what? I'll connect you immediately. So just scan this QR code. It'll take you to everything that you need to know about our program that needs to be part of your program. Look, our goal is to make you the miracle of someone's season. So please join Santa and myself, join all the people in this globe of ours, and let's really, really prove that we're in this together. Let's really make a difference for people. So, but thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe to everything. So no matter where you see this, copy it, send it to a friend. Make a competition. Let's see how many businesses can get their employees involved. Let's do this and win yourself a custom story. And that way you have something already wrapped under the next year's tree for your kids or your grandkids. So for Santa Papa John, my name is Zak Clayton. from Community Pay It Forward. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. I always screw this up. And Z actually taught me this. Happy Eid. Instead of me trying to, it's Eid al-Fitr is the Muslim. It's
Okay.
which is it's actually over right now, but it's in early December. But yeah, so it is the Muslim or November even, but it's the Muslim celebration. So and it's a celebration of light, which you're going to learn more about them. Those are one of the videos that I am going to be making is about all of these different celebrations. So.
Hey, talking about lately, I know we're really coming to the crunch line, but lately all these amazing houses with these light displays have been popping up all over my feed. If you have one of those, create a little video, send it to us. Those put a big smile on my face because I know the effort that it takes to get those put up and put on place and then to coordinate them to music. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and think about this. You also give him an extra way to, view those houses for a landing spot. So give him
I
extra.
like the way you're thinking there, brother.
Give him an extra planning device. So but anyway, hey everybody, for Santa, Papa John, for Zak Clayton, for Community Pay It Forward, for Are You Santa Improved, and for all of our families, happy holidays. We really hope to be seeing you. Scan the code, become involved. Let's do this because no one has to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you very much.
Hope is rising, love is near. Hand in hand.
Folks,
So-
I don't say this like
happens on I hate when that happens. Sorry about that. I did not want that to. That's one bad thing about trying to share from trying to share from YouTube is that they immediately go into another video. I wish they didn't do that. I will try to be better on that and try to make sure that doesn't happen. Coming up next, I need you to go on ahead and we're going to shut down this video. So just take a look. If you go to a couple places, we are going to go with segment 2 on YouTube at Pack Channel 1386. That's YouTube at Pack Channel 1386. We're also going to be on Facebook at the Packed Channel, or I'm sorry, at Packed Podcast. So Facebook is going to be at facebook.com Packed Podcast, and on LinkedIn at my personal LinkedIn channel, which is Zachary-Clayton Lion. Please don't call me Zachary. It's the only way I could get verified is if I used Zachary Clayton because that's what's on my license. At linkedin.com/Zachary-Clayton Lion. So you can find the next segment, which is a 3-hour segment, on any of those channels. We're going to start with the story that Papa John gave to us, to my grandkids last year. So we're starting with that story. Then we're going to give a little bit of an intro of all the studies we're doing. And then we're going to bring you the first day of holidays after loss. with our friend Melanie Belenik. So please shut this one down. Move over to those ones. Once again, we're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and for the next 3 hours. So let's keep this going. Miracle of the Season continues over on any of those networks. This wall took 2,500 years to build. We don't have that long. That's why your support means so much. Please, donate or volunteer and join the community partner honor wall. Because community takes us all. So please, join us today.
What if every small business purchase counts? What if every purchase could change a life? With Community Pay It Forward, your business becomes a force for good. Join the movement. Get listed. Make impact with every transaction, new customers. Your business, their mission. One app, one community. Download now at communitypayitforward.us.
Hi everyone, my name is Lynn Sabulski. Happy holidays, and today I'm going to share with you my favorite childhood Christmas story. The Lights on the Christmas Tree by Florence Page Jacques. Once, the Christmas tree lights were not lights at all. They were the colors in the rainbow, just an everyday rainbow, the good kind you see in the sky after a rain. When Santa Claus made the very first Christmas tree, it was easy to see that he needed a rainbow for a decoration because he had only white decorations. He lived at the North Pole then, as he does now, and when he had powdered the tree with snow and hung icicles all over it and tied snowballs on the ends of the branches, he looked at it and said, "Nah, it's pretty, but it ought to have some color on it. It needs some red and green and blue and gold." "Oh, Santa Claus," said the littlest white bear, "let's put a rainbow on it." "That's just what it needs," Santa Claus agreed. "I'll send the biggest white bear to get one." "Oh," said the littlest white bear. He was so disappointed that tears came to his eyes. "I was the one who thought of the rainbow. I thought you might let me find it." "All right then," Santa Claus said kindly, "but you must be very careful. Rainbows are easy to break, so you must take care not to drop it." "Oh, I will be careful," promised the littlest bear, and he ran and ran on his little legs until he found the most beautiful rainbow. Then he picked it up and hung it over his back and went home to Santa Claus, walking very carefully. He walked safely past the snowfields, and safely past the icebergs, and safely past the slippery slides, and at last he came to Santa Claus's steps. He saw Santa Claus in the doorway waiting. "Hooray!" the littlest white bear laughed, waving his little front paws in triumph. "Here it is! I found the biggest, best, most beautiful rainbow." And just then, both his back feet slipped and boom, he fell on his back and the rainbow was broken into 1,000 pieces. Don't cry," said Santa Claus, hurrying down the steps. "You aren't hurt." "No, but the rainbow is," sobbed the littlest white bear, "and I tried so hard to be careful." "Never you mind," Santa Claus patted him gently. "We'll put the pieces of the rainbow on the tree. After all, the colors are still just as pretty." So they picked up a blue piece and put it here, and they picked up a red piece and put it there, and the Christmas tree was prettier than if the rainbow had been all together. "Oh," said the littlest white bear, "I'm glad I fell down." And ever since then, we have had beautiful rainbow-colored lights on the Christmas tree. Happy holidays, everyone, with love to you and yours.
Hey everybody, Zach here with Maria. I am so thrilled to get Maria on, and Maria being part of the miracle of the season. And partly one of the biggest reasons is Maria has a distinctive attribution to this because she deals with people in different cultures all the time. And Maria, you really are putting a focus on us treating humans like humans and bringing humanity back, and the treating everybody with compassion and dignity and human rights. So first off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your program and tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Okay, thank you, Zach. I'm so happy to be here with you, and I always enjoy our conversation every single time. So my background is with human resources and leadership, but also with funerals. And to be a funeral representative at various funerals like Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, and also secular ceremonies. So I've attended more than 1,500 funerals, and I've casketed more than 3,000 people. So I've seen people in a very vulnerable context. I'm born and raised in Sweden, so sometimes my English isn't really perfect, but seeing the human expression is so, even if the ceremonies are different in their religion's setup, it's really about people coming together in remembrance and to honor the spiritual life, but also to honor the life that was lived and the memories with that person, and to remember that we also are mortal, which it may be weird, but I think it's hopeful. I think it would be awful to live forever, but
I do too.
But to honor, because it's really about the preciousness of life and to honor life, and how the emotions is so human. It's about grief. It's about sometimes to acknowledge what was not said, what was not done, what we as living did or did not do, or what the one who died did or did not do, and the loss of someone. Sometimes it's hate, sometimes it's anger and frustration of life and unfairness, and sometimes it's relief and hopefulness about and gratitude for life. And when I just 10 years ago, I wrote the book, State of Grace, Human Rights and Human Obligations. And that's the foundation of the work that we're creating now, is the human constitution, that we are born with rights and that we all need to mature with our responsibilities. So it's about to be very mindful about our emotion and to acknowledge our emotion, and to strive to mature, to grow in our emotion. And what I mean by that is to grow with our emotions is also like, the flexibility of emotions. I remember when my mom died in 2009, and I was, diving into this grieving process and fully embracing that, and screaming. I said to my brother, I just need to be alone. And then I went into one of the bedroom, and I was screaming and shouting and crying and crying, and until I sort of like wrenched out my emotions and to come to peace. And the irony of this, or the gratitude of this, is in 2023 I received the Ambassador for World Peace Award. And that's also where I talked about that peace in the world starts from within. So it's really about to come to peace with ourselves and to make peace with our relations. And sometimes the peace is about to set boundaries, to say no. And or sometimes it's to lessen the boundaries and to relax a little bit more.
See, I think one of the very first things that you said is really what I was looking for, because I know that different cultures look at other cultures and they think that, well, these, when these guys die, they see it as a badge of honor and all this other, and you know what? That's not true. There's loss. There's, a family still feels that loss. Friends still feel that loss. And there's some subsect of every culture where you have the extremists who find honor in death. And I mean, this isn't in most of the world, most generally, we're not out there like, the Norse people were way back, where dying in battle was an honor.
In the 800th century,
right,
yes.
Right.
Yeah, we were conquering.
Right. We've developed at least a little bit into where, there's not one just culture that death is exactly what they're looking for. That's just not the way it is. Everyone feels the pain, and everyone feels in general pain, and everyone deserves our help. Everyone deserves a chance, and everyone, as you beautifully put it, deserves dignity. Everyone deserves the human right to live and to be themselves.
Yeah. And even with the Buddhist and the Hindu mindset of, samsara is a concept, and it's about never-ending cycle of suffering, and you repeat the cycle until you're done. And so whenever you die, there's a new cycle starting. So not really a fear about death, but it's not also not looking for death. But and dignity is really a core value for me. It's for me, it's really a way of living. And dignity for me, it means, Zach, when you have the crown on your head, and with, you're the king of your life, and I am the queen of my life, and to see each other with compassion and mutual respect, equal human worth. And so that's dignity for me. And to see the royalty in the other, and also to see that in all living beings, like the dogs that you're having. I love them so much. and the dignity and, you know, compassion with all life.
It, you know, you made a mention of it earlier. I that, you know, just the thought of living forever. Oh God, that honestly, I think I would rather try to eat soup with chopsticks than live forever. I really would. You know, it to me is just would be a challenge, and I'm not, you know, I'm not one that fears the end, but I don't wish it upon myself or anyone else.
Right.
And I feel that whereas I am not a religious person, I feel that everyone I meet has potential to do miraculous things for someone else. And in order for that to happen, I feel like we need to make sure that they are treated well, because if they're treated well, they have the opportunity to treat someone else well. And so you know, I want to make sure that someone else is given that chance to where they can make someone's life different, improve someone else's life. And if we stop looking at other people as being hindrance, you know, you're a problem in my life. Well, no, they're a part of your life. Everybody we meet, every person we meet is a challenge. But every person and every person we come across is also something beautiful that can happen for someone.
Yeah. And what you're talking, and I'm thinking about what you're saying, and the first three principles about the human constitution is stating that we're born with rights, and we all mature and to grow and to broaden perspectives with our responsibilities. So the first three principles is body, emotion, and thought. And what we started to talk about was, you know, the emotional right, that we have the right to, you know, the whole spectrum of emotions. And we also have the right to our thoughts, and also responsibility for our thoughts, and trying to mature, trying to sort out, you know, what is the facts here really, and what is all our interpretation of the situation. And in the overlap of the facts and all the interpretation is drama. So whenever we are experiencing drama, there is always, you know, something that we're mixing up of, you know, what are the facts? Like, you know, water is wet. We're born, we live, we die. You know, just facts. And then the interpretation of, you know, he said that, she said that, and that means they don't love me. That means they hate me. That means whatever they said is what they said. And then our interpretation of what they meant with that, and that people want to harm us or they want ill intent, is that's where the drama begins. And when we can sort out the facts and live more with the facts, they said that, maybe they meant that, maybe they didn't mean that. my interpretation of the situation is creating, and also, you know, whenever we are pointing at someone, we have three fingers pointing to ourselves.
Yep.
So whatever we are interpreting with others might have something to do with us also. It might have. And to just be curious about that, because that's how we grow. And that's how we also release the drama, to release this entangled emotions of hurt. And And like I said, sometimes it's to set boundaries.
I wonder sometimes if we have just become too protective of our own feelings at times, because we hear other people saying things that they don't mean to say. And this is true because the ones that you love, you'll say something to them and they'll take it out of context, or they'll say something and you'll take it out of context. And then we get out into the public and we get confused by, well, what the hell was that person's problem with me? What did, is it that we're taking things too, we're trying to protect ourselves maybe a little too much? Or is it that, people just really don't watch what they're doing when they talk to us? And I don't want to think, I truly hope that we don't expect people to talk to us in a different way. I don't think it's really our duty to have to change our personalities for other people. I think that we need to be able to be who we are, but we also need to make sure that we're respecting people in the same way. If you walk up to somebody and slap them upside the head every time you meet someone new, that's not good. Obviously, that's not good. But
No.
we can't be the sweet, innocent, lovable guy to one person and then just a complete schlub to someone else. We need to be that happy medium to where we've got to be able to be ourselves, and I think on the other hand, we need to allow people to be themselves.
Yeah, and that's where dignity and equal human worth comes in. And I don't really mean this as a lofty concept, but like really a strive for dignity, and what that means to you, and what that means to me, and equal human worth for me is to see beyond the concepts, to see beyond white woman with this hair, or to see beyond all the labels and the titles, acknowledging whatever is, but the gift is really to see through this veil. And I believe, whenever we believe in this veil a lot, it becomes very heavy and quite dense. And we meet more and more obstacles, and our emotions and our thoughts are challenged. So it's just as if life is knocking on our door saying, there are other perspectives to be discovered. And that's the way I see whenever we are in drama or to make peace. It's an opportunity to make peace.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Maria, you obviously you have experience with many different cultures. Does it make how you celebrate this time of year different?
No, not really. I'm just with my family, and we have nice foods, and we enjoy each other's company, and just we have gifts, but it's not extravagant or lavish, but it's just no. in Sweden, during Christmas in Sweden, since I think it's the end of the 60s, people, all the kids used to watch Donald Duck. I don't know if you heard about this.
Oh, no.
Back then it was very cartoons we had like 2 channels and one, it was way back when. And so that's still a tradition that is running at 3:00 in the afternoon. Everyone watches Donald Duck.
It's actually funny now. You listen to kids talking about, well, there's nothing on TV, and you remember back to where we here in the States we had ABC, CBS, NBC, and you just look at these kids and go, "Shut up! What is your problem?" You guys have networks built around nothing but cartoons. We had soap operas. We didn't until after school, and then we got the cartoons. Saturdays, I do miss Saturdays. Having that day full of the mornings that were nothing but cartoons. I miss those times. Because we had some of those. But we doing a lot of studying and seeing some of the things that came out of your side of the world with like the Yule and Odin's celebration, and Odin be a precursor to Santa Claus.
That's right.
Because before Santa Claus flew through the air, Odin flew through the air. And so doing a lot of these studies for this event, it was really neat seeing how they took all this Saturnalia and all these things and squished Christmas together at one point in time. And then of course we let culture take and separate it a little bit, but then we decided no, we're going to bring it back together the way it was like it. And I make a statement a little bit later on that I don't like over religious celebrations because I'm not a religious person. But I also don't like the salesy aspect of Christmas either. I'm like you. A good Christmas is any time I can look across the table and see family. And I don't care if we give each other handmade gifts. I don't care if we buy each other something. As long as that person is across from me and we're able to sit there and have a conversation. That's what Christmas, that's what the holidays are to me. And you look at the traditions that start from way back when there was always an aspect of lighting the way through the dark. And to do that, we need the community.
Yeah. And Zach, let me tell you, it's dark here in Scandinavia now because, the earth is tilting. So during the winter season, like right now, the sun is rising like 9:30-ish. It depends on where in Scandinavia. Scandinavia is just as long as California, actually. So in the way north, then it's even later. But so the sun rises ish 9:30, and then it sets at 2:30. So and during that time, it's not really light. It's more like a dusk because the humidity is making like a big gray cloud. So there's not a lot of sun either. So vitamin D is helping. And that's also, culturally, when people move here to become aware of that, because it's especially for people with darker skin, it's even more D vitamin deficiency and depression, really. And what I do love about the Scandinavian culture is the curiosity and the openness of other cultures, and to especially, well, maybe not cultural, but more tech-ish, to be curious about, the next new thing. We are in Scandinavia early adapters of any new tech, first on it, and I think it's the curiosity is important.
And that was another thing that through the studyings of everything that the people in Scandinavia and the people further north, they had to deal with it. You're bringing the celebrations were so important because they're in a time of very little light, and if you didn't have that community together, and if you didn't have the feasting and the celebrations and the symbolism of light in the dark, and rebirth, and the evergreen trees, which are Christmas trees, come from your side of the world, to have something that lives through the dark, the fir tree that lives through all the darkness and the harshness that comes from. And then, we at one point in time, having a religion that came in and wanted to shut all that down, and they're saying, no, this is all about this is all about Christ. It was a trying time for people, and that's one of the reasons why a religion, the Norse and the pagan religion, stuck around a little bit longer, because they needed that celebration because of the shorter days and stuff, the less the lack of light, and just to keep the spirit up. It's we we here in America, right now, the sun comes up at about 6:30 in the morning and goes down at like maybe 4:35 at night, and we're like, where's the sun? It's like, what happened?
That's here? Like, that's so lovely.
yeah. You're sitting there going, we haven't seen the sun in 3 days. But I mean, it is right. And we do sometimes, we forget how spoiled we are with everything. And I live, here in the state. I live in a state that's known for skiing and winter and all this stuff. It snowed once so far this year. Once. That's it. For a day, it snowed. And yesterday, it was 70 degrees. It is December 22nd, and it's 70 degrees. Okay. Which is dangerous when you think about it, but it is what it is. But I mean, we have such beautiful weather here, and it makes me sit there and think about what you guys go through, and I'm like, oh God. So what are some of the older traditions, Maria, that you and your family hang on to? What are some of the memories that you have from back when you were growing up, and that you are teaching your daughter now, or you have taught your daughter and you guys celebrate?
Yeah. When you're talking about the snow, and the change here is so obvious, because when I grew up, we had snow up until here, and I have pictures and pictures of me and my brother when we were, we needed to have the overall and the very warm hat, and you couldn't survive without the mittens, because you would freeze your hands. So you could try it for like 15 minutes, but then so to be very warmly dressed was really it sounds dramatic, but survival really. And now it's the same here in Sweden. My daughter, she's around her 20s, and she hasn't seen that much snow in her life. Like, we were up skiing, and then she experienced that much snow, but it's rare. It is changing, but I think my message is really about the human constitution and how we need to come together and look at what can we really affect. The seventh principle is about our collective rights and responsibilities, and to unite, which is also acknowledging that collectively we are born with rights, and we all need to grow with our collective responsibilities to look at what can we do, how, pollution, how we are affecting the planet, with how we are treating other life forms, and how we are treating one another.
Mhm.
And in Sweden, we have I would say in Europe in general, it's very focused on recycling, and I know America is also catching up. I know. And I was really happy to see how but I think, and my point with that is really, the pollution and how we treat the planet, and that our resources are not endless. So it's to be more compassionate and care about how we use the resources that we have. Yeah.
And we've become so much smarter with some of the recycling stuff that,
Innovation.
innovation has
Yeah.
become wonderful. There are some things that are recycled that, are made better than it was originally. I would go to say that there are some things that just shouldn't be made, like the paper straws. I'm sorry, but those things are awful. They
Yeah,
truly are.
well,
The metal straws, those are okay, but
Yeah.
I have a bad habit of hitting my mouth with straws. So
But
I try to avoid
I'm
them
just
altogether.
curious, why straws to begin with? Like,
Don't-
what's up
I-
with that?
Yeah.
I don't use straw. I think, and here is my Scandinavian perspective, okay? For me, when we have straws, it's like that's what kids do,
Yeah,
So, but I don't know. I don't think straws are really necessary.
Straws for me are an invitation to drink a drink very, very fast. If I have a straw in a drink, I can down it instantly without a breath. It's just,
gotcha.
it's here and then it's gone. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so straws to me are just dangerous. I mean, unless I have a fountain right next to me, all I'm doing is just drinking constantly. So yeah, I try to stay away from them now. But yeah, you are correct. We do need to be more concerned about a lot of
Yes.
things. And
Yeah. So
let's-
Zach, I believe it's both. It's both. It's not either or. It's both the details, but it's also the broader perspective. And it's not, straws or no straws. It can be about that, and details that are important, that do make an impact, but it's also the bigger perspective. I saw one of the short clips, and it was this lady, and she was walking around in the store, and everything that she put in the cart was plastic wrapping, right? It was the meat, it was plastic, and it was the fruits, it was plastic wrapping, and it was the vegetables, and and then she came to the cashier, and then to save the planet and from plastic, that's why we charge extra for the plastic bag. Really?
Yep.
Are we serious here now for the plastic bag? But the point being, the innovation. I believe in humanity, Zach. I believe we already have the solutions, but we need to collaborate better, and we need to find those solutions, and to see, what can we do? What solutions are out there? Yeah.
I love that last thing you just said. You know what? The truth is, humans have been around for a day or two. Okay, we've been around for a day or two, and we've never, ever, ever, there's never been true world peace. Somebody's always been at each other at one point or another. Someone's always arguing with someone else, but we've always been able to commingle and live together. We've always been able to do that. And I really think right now is the time where we need to look at each other across the aisle, across the culture, across the religion, across whatever, and pull our heads out of our collective asses and say, you know what? You are not different enough from me to where it affects my life.
Right.
We need to work together. We need to be together. I don't have to like you to live next to you. I don't have to. Okay?
No.
I don't have to agree with everything that you agree with. It doesn't have to be that way. And by God, it shouldn't be that way. We're never going to learn if we don't meet other people where they're at. You know, we need to learn and love each other for who they are.
To what we talked about, coming back to what we talked about earlier, whenever we are feeling, the uncomfortable feelings of grief and anger and frustration, it's turbulence or, uncomfortable. It's as if life is knocking on our door saying there are other aspects to be discovered, because whatever we are pointing to others, I don't like you because you are like that. And whatever I'm saying, I have 3 fingers pointing to myself, and to be a little bit more reflective on, why do I feel so strongly about that? What is it about me? Is that true for me also? Or maybe the opposite is true. Maybe I am triggered by someone who I find so greedy because I have no boundaries. You see, like, or the other way around.
Or you're afraid of your own boundaries.
Yeah.
So,
right. Right.
And Maria, that is the miracle of the season. That's what we're trying to do. Look, most of the time that we point at somebody going, ew, I don't like you, because it's because of fear. It's because of ignorance. We don't understand each other. And I'm not saying ignorance I'm not calling anybody individually ignorant. I am just saying we don't take the time to learn to love each other, because we don't take the time to learn about each other anymore. We've got these wonderful things to where, we don't have to go out and talk to our neighbor, because I can talk to the beautiful Maria Dolorez halfway across the world right now. You are my neighbor right now.
I am.
But we need to take the time. I'm sitting here in
Stockholm.
Yeah. And, but we do need to take that time to walk outside and meet our neighbors. I mean, on the west or on the east side of me right now has been a family that has been the same family that's lived in that house since the 50s. They've been neighbors of my family since the 50s. And on the west side of us, there's a brand new family that just moved into there, a young couple with a little boy. And it's so neat because, we're bringing old with the new. It's kind of that wedding thing, something old, something new. We're bringing in a new family with new traditions. And that's what we want to do. We want to open eyes to traditions. I want to learn what they're doing. They sent us a meal the other day, a true an authentic Mexican dish the other day that I was just like,
wow.
I'm a fat guy, so food with me is like, that's a loving experience. So,
I love Mexican food.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. And, but I mean, it's so, we do forget a lot of times that, the world exists outside of our conveniences. And I think that if we take and put that aside and remember there is a real world that we need to communicate with, there is real life that we need to live, I think things would also be a little bit better, because we do lose some of that humanity with our comfort zones. And we need to make ourselves uncomfortable every once in a while.
Yeah, I think just a little bit more curious. Like it's like, you know, when we experience uncomfortable, to be a little bit curious, like, how come I feel this way? This is, you know, instead of saying, you know, to be tight about it, try to relax and then like, I wonder why this is triggering me.
Well, look, we felt that discomfort the first time we went on a date. We felt that discomfort the first time we went to school.
Yeah.
The first day of our new jobs. There's always a little bit of discomfort there. And when we talk ourselves out of new experiences, we're talking ourselves out of potentially great times. So we need to remember that, you know, that discomfort is,
quote.
you know, that discomfort is only discomfort because we don't know what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
As soon as we know what it brings, it could bring the best joy that we've ever had. And we need to remember that. And so let's make sure that we're not letting discomfort ruin a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Let discomfort be indication of curiosity.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I tell everybody all the time, you know, Maria, that, you know what? I don't want you to be just like me. If you were just like me, I probably wouldn't like you very much, because you know what? I need to learn from you. My curiosity brings me to you because I want to know who you are. I want to learn from you. I want to learn about you. I know me. To me, I'm a boring person. I want to learn from you because I know everything about me. So I don't need, you know, in which that's not true. I do surprise myself every once in a while, you know, and, you know, that double personality thing helps every once in a while. You know, but I mean, I truly do.
You're so funny. I
need other people in my life so badly, because I need to learn from other people. I want to learn about your cultures. I love learning more about, you know, in my family history, we've got ties to Germania and ties to that side of the world. So I loved learning about, you know, the German and the Norse mythology, and you know, I'm enthralled with all of that, and I loved hearing about Saturnalia and all of the other things. I'm loving how it all fits in together. And the thing that I love the most and that I've learned the most in this process is that all of these celebrations are bringing light to dark. Okay. And that is so important, because we are all just looking for that light to take into that dark corner, so we can be a light. We can truly offer this light to other people. And we need to remember that that is all we're all looking for, is to be that light to someone else's life. We want to be an instruction booklet for somebody else. And if we can do that, if we can get people to remember this is what life can be, if we just learn from each other, I think we could be on the way to changing things for a lot of people, and hopefully changing the way that a lot of people are focused right now.
Yeah.
So, but so do you have anything special going on for the holidays? Are you like, what is one of the things that you always make sure is involved in your holiday celebration?
I think it's the same for most people. I think it's food and family.
Food and family.
Food and family. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We I created a story that people are going to get to see a little bit later on. I created a story for my 7 grandkids, and called the Grand Cubs Miracle. But I created a story and I narrated it and used my friend AI to visualize this story all about helping each other. So I'll have to make sure I send it to you.
I
But
would
it's
love
called,
to.
it's called the Grand Cubs Gift, is what it is. So, and I used my love of, and my nickname is the Polar Bear. So all of my grandkids,
You are.
I fed in a picture of the actual grandkid, and what they did is AI took and transformed them into a polar bear, so you can see my grandchildren's face in these polar bears. It's so neat. I think that you'll really get a kick out of it. But
Yeah.
that's, I love doing things like that, and like you, I think family is so integral in everything I do. I want family to be part of everything I do. We're extra lucky this year that my son, my baby boy, just recently got engaged. And
Oh.
Gabby's been part of our,
Yeah.
Gabby's been part of our family for a couple years now, but this year, she's become our daughter, officially, which is great. Okay, they're not married until October, but you know what? Damn it, she's still my daughter.
Yeah.
But every year is an exciting story. Every year is an exciting beginning. And so that's one of the things I like to focus on when it comes to the holidays. What is the new beginning? How are we going to begin this year? And let's not worry about the past, because you know what? The past is gone. The past can't go back. We shouldn't want to go back. This is what we're going to do from here on out.
Yeah.
This is, so.
And sometimes, Zach, I see, how healing it can be. I have one ceremony, or it's not really a ceremony. It's more like a thing that I do every New Year's, is to make like a closure of the year, which is looking back. And just what really happened this year, what was good, what was not, or just to make a closure. And I think, and I see this also with people in grieving and trauma, that sometimes it's good to have a closure. And for people who are not able to have that, most people do not have that, that perfect closure, the one, picture perfect. And then it's important to make that closure with yourself in order to move on more complete. The Japanese, I forgot what this is called, but they make pottery, and then sometimes when the pottery breaks, instead of throwing it away, they have gold as glue, right? And that's specific. It's to see of changes and when things break or shift, to see that as a golden opportunity to enhance and make it even more beautiful, even better, and in fractions, in ways that you cannot even imagine yourself. So embracing whatever is, and forgiving yourself and forgiving others. We all do the best we can, and sometimes people are not nice. Sometimes situations occur, and it's to forgive yourself or forgive the other in order to have closure and just release, move on, write it down, burn the letter, let it go, and to become more intact dignity with yourself.
You've got to remember that there is no such thing as going, and you've got to forgive yourself, and you've got to forgive others, and learn from the mistakes or learn from the poor choices. And if you do that, that poor choice becomes a lesson. And learning how to deal with someone else, that's also a lesson. And that's something that you can do towards giving dignity and allowing people that dignity and that respect that we all deserve. And I really think it's so important to remember that what is done is done. And, you literally cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. Okay, you can't do it. Right. So where do we go from here? What do we do next?
What's the best next step?
That's right. So somebody says something that got your ire up. Stop. Take a couple breaths. Turn around, look at them. Okay, I didn't like that. Where do we go from here? What do we need to do? How do I, do I just walk away? Do I throw a fit and make things worse? Or do we fix the situation? Well, let's stop throwing the fit. Let's stop walking away. Let's fix situations. I think if we really start focusing on that, we can learn how to live with each other a hell of a lot better than we have been lately. So, but well, Maria,
yes, my friend.
My love to you, my love to your family. I wish you nothing but the best this holiday season.
Likewise, Zach. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, and all the best to your big family. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I'm excited with you.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this. It's like I said, it's so exciting. I always like this time of year. This is it's a way to look forward to new things, and it's a way to look forward to growing and being better. Always striving for more, always looking to do more. And so,
I can tell you one thing that I'm really looking forward to in 2026. And that is, how every year I come to America. My brother lives in Florida. And next year, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to come to America and hopefully to do a tour in America and to travel around in some of the great cities in America and to talk about rights and responsibilities, and both with people and with media, and to enhance the message about to mature and to grow with dignity, and to
let me tell you
democracy.
this. Yeah, when you get to this wonderful Colorado area, you have a place to stay. So you can take extra time here in Colorado. We can go and do things. You have a place to stay as long as you need, but you are more than welcome to come and join us. We would love to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Zach. So good.
But any last words that you'd like to say to people for
yes.
Going ahead.
Yeah. what that's referring to what we talked about earlier, and that your ideas can change you, and your ideas can change the world.
Really that simple, isn't it?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just make sure that this is a change that you can live with. Make sure that this is a change that's not just beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's a change that, you know, is beneficial to everyone around you. We say it all the time. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone.
Mm.
No one has to go it alone when we all come together.
Yeah.
Let's come together. Let's make this a better place. Maria, to you, to your daughter, to your family. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I do truly love you. Thank you.
Likewise, so much.
But join us again as Maria and I continue our show next year. Maria, thank you for being part of the thank you for being the miracle of the season. I appreciate it so very much. So that was we're well into the beginning. We've seen the first little over 2 hours, and I do welcome you to the miracle of the season. And I hope that what you've seen so far is getting you excited for the next 35 hours towards what's going to happen. Just to let you know, we've got upcoming lessons on the history of Christmas. We've got lessons on many, many cultures, like Las Posadas, a journey of hope, hospitality, and community. It's a Latin American celebration, welcome, compassion, and a search for shelter. Las Posadas is a celebration that's filled with candlelight, music, community, and a message that feels more important now than ever. Everyone deserves a place to belong. That's really one of the things that we preach all the time. Everyone deserves a door that opens. Las Posadas is a 9-night celebration observed in Mexico, Central America, and parts of South America, and Latino communities across the United States. It reenacts the journey of Mary and Joseph as they search for shelter, a place to rest, and a place to welcome a new life. So let's walk this journey together. What does Las Posadas mean? It means inn. Posadas means inn or shelter in Spanish. I'm sorry, it's posada, not posadas. Posada. Las Posadas literally means the inns. The celebration reenacts the biblical story of Mary and Joseph, their journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem in search for a place to stay, the repeated rejections, with people telling them that they had nowhere for them. And finally, the moment when someone opens their door, it's a celebration of hospitality, compassion, community, faith, the dignity of every traveler and stranger. It takes place over 9 nights from December 16th to December 24th. So to today, here in, at least in America, it's the 24th. So today is the last day of Las Posadas. Why 9 nights? The 9 nights symbolize the 9 months of Mary's pregnancy. Each night, the community walks together and reenacts the journey. The nightly procession is called the peregrination. Peregrination. The pilgrimage or procession. The procession is a moving, living story. Each night, families gather with candles, lanterns, songs, and a small nativity figure of Mary and Joseph. Sometimes children are dressed as angels or shepherds, or Mary and Joseph themselves. These groups walk from house to house, singing traditional songs called villancicos, meaning Christmas carols. At each house, the group asks for shelter. The people inside respond with a refusal, just as Mary and Joseph were turned away. The host welcomes everyone. Finally, at the last house, the doors open wide. The host welcomes everyone in, and this is a powerful movement. It's a reminder that hospitality is sacred, and no one should be left out in the cold. One of the most iconic parts of this celebration is the call and response song. And it has written down here the song, but I'm going to do you all a Christmas gift, and I ain't going to sing. Partly because, I barely speak English, and I have a horrible voice. It also has a piñata that symbolizes the light and triumph. At the end of each night, children break a piñata. Traditionally, the piñata is star-shaped with 7 points representing the 7 deadly sins. It's always brightly colored, filled with fruit, candy, and treats. The act of the piñata symbolizes overcoming temptation, triumph over good and evil, light breaking through darkness. Again, you are going to hear about this so much. And the joy after struggle. The treats fall represent blessings and abundance. Food and festivities include warm, comforting foods that bring people together. Common dishes include tamales, pozole, buñuelos, and ponche navideño. A warm fruit punch made with guava, hibiscus, cinnamon, sugarcane, apples, and tejocotes. The smell of a ponche alone can make the whole neighborhood feel like home. On the final night, the 9th night of Las Posadas is December 24th, Christmas Eve. The night is called Nochebuena, meaning good night. It includes a final procession, a nativity play, midnight mass, a large feast, family gatherings, fireworks in some regions, and placing a baby Jesus in the nativity scene. It's a night of joy, warmth, and spiritual celebration. The deeper meaning of Las Posadas: hospitality, compassion, community solidarity, welcoming the vulnerable, seeing the divine in every traveler, opening your doors. It teaches no one should be turned away, and no one should walk alone. Every person deserves a place to rest. In a world where many people are still searching for safety, shelter, and belonging, Los Posadas feels more relevant than ever. I mean, it truly does. Las Posadas is a celebration of welcome, a reminder that hospitality is a sacred act and that opening our doors can change someone's life. It teaches us that the darkest time of year can be the light for someone else. So thank you for joining me and learning a little bit about Las Posadas. You're going to hear, in which I understand I'm going out of order here, but we're trying to get everything fit in. So I had a little bit of time for this segment. We are now going to start in this next episode. We're going to do a little meditation right now, and then we're going to go on to the next episode, which has Santa Papa John reading the story that he wrote for my grandkids last year. And then we're going to learn about the history of the winter solstice, which eventually leads into Christmas. So please enjoy this meditation and then join us again, in which you will be able to find the continuing program on YouTube under Pact Channel or Things Network. We will be running on both outlets all day long. Please, whatever you're on, give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment. Make sure that you comment to anything and everything that you see. And most importantly, if there's somebody out there that you are missing this time of year, reach out to them, tag them, let them know that you're thinking of them. Because folks, it is too easy to connect with people nowadays. Let's make sure that we're doing that. Enjoy this meditation and then switch over and watch our next segment.
As we begin, take a deep breath and relax. If you are in a car, either pull over and stop, or turn off the CD until you can get to a place where you can sit comfortably for at least 20 minutes with your eyes closed. Now take a deep breath and relax your stomach as you exhale. Continue to breathe, and on your next exhale, sink deeply into your chair. Close your eyes and release any tightness in your face and jaw. Allow your shoulders to soften. Release any tension, letting it drop away. Enjoy this time of quiet and peace. With your next breath, feel yourself floating up into the clouds. You drift away, leaving any concerns behind. Drifting and floating, you look down below and see an open meadow, a large field of grass open to the sky. In the middle, you see an immense fir tree. It is a holiday tree, sitting alone, awaiting your visit. Breathe in the scent of evergreens. Take in the clean, fresh air. Let it fill your lungs as each breath relaxes you deeper and deeper. Now, begin to gather the people around you who will participate in this special ceremony of release and renewal. In a few minutes, you will invite groups of people to your special tree. This is an opportunity to release energetic ties with each of them. You will feel more at peace. Each person you release is free to grow and evolve more fully. Later, you can either allow some people to fall away from you completely, or you can renew the energy between you. Release opens you to seeing people with freshness and openness, strengthening supportive relationships. As you call people to mind, you will speak to each of them. Those that join the tree will find a place in the branches, like ornaments. Bring people to mind as we begin. First, invite exes to come to the tree. Ex-husbands or wives, ex-boyfriends or girlfriends. As they arrive, ask each one of them, do you fully support my magnificence and the direction I'm taking in my personal evolution? If they say yes, you may let them go or ask them to stay. If they say no, definitely have them stay. Now invite childhood and school friends to come. Bring them gently into the branches and ask, do you support my magnificence and the direction I'm taking in my personal evolution? If they say yes, you may choose to have them stay or allow them to leave. If they say no, then absolutely have them stay. Remember, you can reconnect with anyone easily just by thinking of them. Continue to breathe deeply. Invite your friends to come. As they float into the branches, ask, do you fully support my magnificence and the direction of my personal evolution? If yes, you may ask them to stay or allow them to go. But if they say no, absolutely have them stay. Now, remember work associates. Invite co-workers and employees. Ask each of them, do you fully support my magnificence and the direction of my personal evolution? If they say yes, you choose whether they stay. If they say no, absolutely have them stay. Invite your clients, people you serve. If you are a teacher, invite your students. See them join the branches and ask, do you support my magnificence and the direction of my personal evolution? If yes, they may stay. If they say no, definitely have them stay. Invite bosses or anyone who has ever acted like a boss. Ask each of them, do you support my magnificence and the direction of my personal evolution? If yes, choose whether they stay. If no, absolutely have them stay. Invite your teachers and those who have taught you in any way. Ask them, do you support my magnificence and my personal evolution? If they say no, definitely have them stay. Take another deep breath. Invite extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles, and their families. Ask each of them, do you fully support my magnificence and the direction I'm taking in my personal evolution? If they say yes, they may stay. If they say no, definitely have them stay. Invite your siblings, brothers, sisters, anyone who has acted like a brother or sister. Do you fully support my magnificence and my personal evolution? If yes, decide whether they will stay. If no, positively have them stay, knowing that you can reconnect whenever you want. Invite children. Your children, even if they are grown. Children you know. They may be special to you in some way. Ask them, do you completely support my magnificence and the direction of my personal evolution? If they say yes, then you decide whether or not they will stay. If no, absolutely have them stay. Invite grandparents and anyone who has acted like a grandparent. Whether they are alive or have passed, they are here now. Ask them the question. Let them take a place in the tree. Now your parents and anyone who has acted like a parent. See them. Ask, do you fully support my magnificence and the direction I'm taking in my personal evolution? If they say no, absolutely have them stay. Invite your partner, your husband, your wife, your intimate partner. Do you fully support my magnificence and the direction I'm taking in my personal evolution? Have your partner stay to open your heart in a new way. Invite anyone else who should be here, asking, do you support my magnificence and my personal evolution? Gently invite yourself to sit at the top of the tree. Why not? You will bring a fresh awareness to your attitudes and beliefs about yourself. Notice you can be both in the tree and looking down on it. Looking at the many ornaments in the tree below, you become aware of the thin, wispy cords that come from each person in the tree and attach to you. These spider-webby umbilical cords are the energetic ties. They were created as you interact with others. You can clearly see the web of energetic ties below. In a moment, you will have a conversation with all the people in the tree. What you will say is something like this: I forgive you. Do you forgive me? As you ask this, know that at a very deep level, you can initiate forgiveness for others and they for you, because it is all one. you are really only forgiving a part of yourself. Now it is time to start. Speak to each person in your tree. I forgive you. Do you forgive me? Notice that forgiveness can begin to flow, perhaps slowly at first, and then more easily. Notice that you can both give and receive forgiveness. Understand that you are only forgiving a part of yourself. Know that you can do this now, forgiving and being forgiven, gently and easily. Forgiveness flowing between you. Now begin to see a ball of light glowing above your head. The light becomes brighter and more brilliant, coming ever closer. As the huge ball of light floats right above your head, you feel calmness and warmth. Your crown chakra opens to receive. The light becomes liquid, flowing in a constant stream to